Hey guys, Casey here. Today I'm going to be taking the World's Fair Challenge.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the recent horror flicks that deserved way more love.
I deserve nice things. I have cosmopolitan taste.
Don't I know it?
I mean it. I want the whole world to know my name.
Number 10, Totally Killer.
I'm looking for Pam Hughes. Who? Miller, sorry. Pam Miller. She's my friend.
Okay, then she's probably at school, where you should be. I'll give you a ride.
But no, can't get in a car with you. You're a total stranger. You could be a serial killer.
Back to the Future meets Halloween in this slasher comedy starring chilling adventures of Sabrina star Kiernan Shipka. She plays Jamie, a teen whose mother survived a killer's small-town massacre some 35 years before.
Honey, who else is going to the concert?
God, what's the big deal, guys? I'll be home by curfew.
Sweetheart, you know how hard this time of year is for us. I mean, especially now that you're the same age as we were.
When her mother is murdered, Jamie time travels back to the 1980s to stop the killer the first time around. In solving the original case, she may be able to save herself and her mum. Mixing time travel confusion, generational comedy, and non-stop butchery, Totally Killer is an innovative, embracing horror thriller for the contemporary audiences that also pays tribute to the past.
Oh my god, what's the big deal?
The big deal, Heather, is that there is a murderer on the loose, specifically targeting your friend group, and you drove us into the woods. Oh my god! I forgot to bring vodka.
Number 9, Uera, the Bone Woman. This Mexican-Peruvian import made quite a splash when it played at the 2022 Tribeca Festival. Since then, it's captivated audiences with its story of an expectant mother who becomes haunted by images of a faceless woman with shattered bones.
¿Qué te pasa? ¡Suéltalo! ¿Estás loca?
Its images of bodily injury are not for the faint-hearted. Exploring the physical, emotional, and spiritual toll of childbirth, Uera the Bone Woman is a disturbing and gripping exercise in body horror, relying less on jump scares and more on building tension and an atmosphere of dread. It's a movie that stays with you long after it ends. Number 8, Skinamarink. We have just one word of advice. Don't go into this one with any expectations regarding plots or traditional storytelling. Yes, it's about two young siblings whose house and family seem to be disappearing around them without explanation, but it's not your typical haunted house story.
What? I got scared. I couldn't go.
Merging surrealism with nightmarish analog horror aesthetics, Skinamarink is a visceral experience. Something about its grainy found footage look and disembodied sound effects really does feel like a bad dream. It's a well-crafted, meticulously detailed piece with layers of meaning for those who can withstand its slow burn thrills. It may not be for everyone, but it's well worth a look.
Katie. You have to come see this.
Number 7, El Conde.
¿Para qué voy a querer seguir viviendo en un país que me detesta?
No lo detesta.
Despite earning an Academy Award nomination for its cinematography, this Chilean film is largely undersung. It imagines a fictional timeline where former dictator Augusto Pinochet is actually a vampire who has lived many lives and faked many deaths. At least we assume it's fiction.
No sabemos. No, para nada. ¿Qué sabes tú? Lo mismo que tú.
Not only is it a great vampire story, it's also a raucous and irreverent political satire. Just when you think it can't get any crazier, it turns out famed British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher is also a vampire.
I thought I was going to be able to tell this story from my chambers, but now there is no alternative.
Number 6, The Last Voyage of Demeter.
I have finally seen the true darkness that dwells beneath the surface of this world. The evil that neither science nor reason can explain.
Seeing as he's the most famous vampire of all time, you'd have been justified in thinking we'd seen every possible take on the original Dracula story. This one goes all the way back to Bram Stoker's original novel for inspiration.
Keep your silence. I saw your face in the dark last night. Your eyes. You saw it. Same as I.
Telling the bloody and treacherous story of the ship that carried the Count from his home in Transylvania to the streets of London, this movie is anything but old-fashioned. With action scenes and makeup effects that rival any big-budget blockbuster, The Last Voyage of the Demeter does the unthinkable. It makes Count Dracula terrifying again.
You are in my head, in my blood. You have damned me to hell!
Number 5, X.
You should go. It will be our secret.
This aptly named slasher movie follows the cast and crew of an adult film who secure a farmhouse location for their latest skin flick. The only trouble is that the nice elderly couple they're renting the house from has no idea what they're up to. And once they find out, it turns out they're not so nice after all.
The last bohemian that stayed here was the same. Traipsing around and barely in her clothes. Enticing my wife. Yeah.
Mia Goth does double duty as the decrepit homicidal Pearl and the gorgeous young ingenue Maxine. Ty West's trilogy made Mia Goth the ultimate scream queen, while Pearl and her tour de force performance gets most of the glory. It all started with X.
You know why?
Why?
Because you got that X Factor.
Number 4, Late Night with the Devil. From its eerie framing device to its classic horror feel, this indie darling felt like a return to form for the whole genre. Late Night with the Devil focuses on a lost episode of a late night talk show that aired a very interesting Halloween episode.
Good evening, night owls, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms once again. We've got an incredible show lined up for you tonight as we celebrate all of the fiendish fun of Halloween.
The host and a parapsychologist perform an exorcism for the studio audience. It goes about as well as you'd expect.
Get some help here.
Now!
Watching lead actor David Dastmalchian try to maintain his control of the show while all hell breaks loose makes for an incredibly tense and taut possession thriller. Reminiscent of a 70s movie with its grainy footage and captured in warm colours, it's a perfect watch for this spooky season.
And you'll get your turn card. Right now, some messages.
Number 3, Evil Dead Rise.
It is now 2 nights since I read aloud from the book. My want to understand and commune with the other side could not have been more misguided.
Urban decay and demonic possession make for one long night as demons lay siege to a dilapidated apartment building in LA. When an earthquake releases the demonic deadites on her apartment building, single mother Ellie is possessed and begins to attack her family. Even her 3 children are not safe from her vicious rage.
Mom? Mommy's with the maggots now.
Despite taking place in the city, this standalone sequel manages to capture the claustrophobia of the original. It's a highly suspenseful and unexpectedly emotional movie that doesn't offer one bit of mercy. This is one sequel that stands on its own.
It's me.
Number 2, we're all going to the World's Fair.
This is an in-game channel for serious players only. So, if you message me, I hope that you're ready to get scared together.
The weird and surreal world of the current internet era takes center stage in this low-budget oddity. Teenager Casey participates in a viral challenge that makes her life a living hell. She begins sending a friend videos of herself experiencing some increasingly bizarre symptoms.
I'm not really sure what to do about it. I was kind of used to not having to stress about every single time I fell asleep that I'd do something crazy or I'd like get run over by a car. Just like staying in front of the car.
Fantasy and reality begin to blur. Is Casey being authentic for her perceived audience, or is she genuinely breaking down under the strain of the World's Fair challenge? Director Jane Schoenbrunn crafted the film as an allegory, but even without the subtext, it's still a deeply unsettling experience, unlike any other.
We can't be held responsible for what you become. All you have to do to get started is take the challenge.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, When Evil Lurks.
No me dispares con un arma de fuego a la bestia. No vas a condenar, mi amor.
In this dread-inducing Argentinian-American movie from 2023, evil and violence are pretty mundane. When humans are already treating each other as disposable, how much worse can things get? Two brothers are about to find out.
No sé bien lo que vi, pero no era ella. Yo pensé que era Sabrina, pero no sé, no sé qué es lo que vi. Pero hay alguien que está con el Santino.
When they realise the literal embodiment of evil is about to be born, the two accidentally unleash literal evil on themselves, their families, and their community. There are no easy answers and no easy wins in this film festival favourite. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Let's just say this is one movie that's not precious about who lives and who dies.
Usted no puede ir a buscar a su hijo, pero debe comprender por qué no puede. Su miedo a perderlo va a ayudar al demonio. La maldad sabe más de sus miedos que usted.
Which of these movies are you adding to your Halloween watch list? Tell us in the comments.
What are you guys doing here? What do you mean, what are they doing here? The whole crew comes every year for Halloween.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.